Hello, welcome to this Blender topic on creating a sunken text character. The first thing I want to do is to show what the end results are. This is an image of this is the actual topology that I'm going for, what I'm trying to create. And of course, this here could be refined further to, create a more even mesh, but that's something I can leave to whoever wants to do that. What the important part is that there are basically straight edges here, and this can deal with this topology can easily handle or will not crumble because you have the subsurface modifier on. So that's really the goal of this. And I'll go back to the render here, and so this is what the end result is. So if this is not what you're looking for, then you know that this is something you can omit. Anyway, let's start with it. Here's the topology, here's the actual character. Up here is a link to the video that describes how to arrive at this point here. There's a method to get a character into this topology, and that way you can open it and learn that and then come back. Let's go into face mode, and I'll press Alt and right mouse click that, and I delete those faces. Click on one face, press L to select all the connected ones, and then delete those faces. So now we have this open mesh here, and I'm going to edge mode. If we look at this outline here, why can't I just kind of do this, Shift D duplication, and then scale it up and just easily connect this, or even better, just extrude it out? Well, you can see why, because here you have an inner curve, and there you have an outer curve. So this part here really need to be shrunk down, and this expanded, and you have these corners and all these little intricacies that characters present. So I'll delete this now. So we have to use another method, and this is the method that I have devised. Turn off this subsurface division modifier. I want to be in top mode there. It's a little bit hard sometimes, and wait a minute. So we're going to go to object mode, and I want to just move the camera over, it's in the way. So there you go. And sometimes it's a little bit hard to know that you're actually selecting the right edge here. So I think that's good. And what I'm doing now is just selecting these two edges because I want to work with this loop here in between these two. So I select those and then do E for extrude and push those out. That means when I press Alt, right mouse click, then I will select only this part here. So I don't have to manually go in and select that. Then I'll do Shift D for duplication and scale that up, scale that down a little bit, and I can actually scale it in the Y direction like this. Will work out fine, and then I'll start working on this manually by going over to vertex mode, and I'll take these guys up here, and that needs to correspond to that one. So here at the end points, that's where I want it to fit real well. So that's like vertex to vertex. And the whole idea is just to keep it an even count, you can say, so that these faces that will be created between these two edges are not too much slanted, or that they need to be kind of on the particular, on the side of being perpendicular to the edge. What I mean by that is what I don't want is, I'll go over to edge mode and show you. What I don't want is, I don't want this kind of thing. I want this kind of thing. So that's what I'm basically trying to achieve doing this. So make sure, go over to vertex mode again. So just see if this is sufficient. Then I'll select that and make that selection, and then I'll just deselect those here and those, and then do W and use loop tools bridge. So this requires that you have loop tools activated, and that's something you do in user preferences. Then I can just Alt M at last. So that's the general method to eventually get around the entire thing. So this one here is pretty much doing the exact same thing. And we can just do the top here. See, I want to, this is the one that I would like to extrude here. So I'll kind of stop that. And then Alt right mouse click. And then do extrude on it too. No. It's not extrude. I really do want to do a Shift D for duplication, because otherwise, you saw what I got. I got these that are going straight up, and that's not what I want. I want them to, you know, be more radial. So I'll put this there. So this requires a little bit more manual intervention, but that's kind of the reason why it has to, or I haven't found any better way to deal with this than trying to just kind of do it section by section. And some you kind of get for free here. You don't have to do a whole lot of changes to it. Other ones you don't. So we got that. So now I have selected these two and can use the bridge function. And that worked out good. Just keep making these faces. And I think you kind of get the gist of this. This is kind of the method. You just do the same basic idea. So I'll move forward to a later progression in this. I'll see if this one here is, yeah, I think that this one is a good one. Here we have the entire outline of the character is filled in, and now the next thing, I'll kind of jump ahead here so you can see, just do the same type of job that I did before, and I'll close that down and I open up number 7, let's see, 6. Okay, I just kind of extruded that so that I'll be even with this. And then here, this here, how to get to that point is we'll go back to number 6, I think. So what I did here is just take this this edge here and that one there, and make a face between those. Go into vertex mode and then just kind of after adjust this. Just trying to get, you know, sufficiently reasonable angles on the quads here. And put a face in here. Select this. Maybe I did a little bit different. And I do E for extrude and scale that down. Then we can kind of just manually round this up a little bit. And then do it again. Scale and then E, scale, and then I can just type in 0 and then Alt M. There you go. So it's just a matter of trying to fill it in, and then you can, if you want to have this more evenly spaced, you can go ahead and just select those, do W and subdivide twice. This is just to keep an even mesh. It's just, you know, this won't, you know, probably will not deform that well, because you have some poles here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 connectors there, and you can, you know, you can work with that. But right now, this is all that I need. So let's see. I want to open up number 8, I think. See what that does. Yep. So next thing to do here is to, you know, go up from here. What I would do here is I'd take that one, E for extrude there, and this one here, so I can control the loop select. I'm not sure, maybe even there would be fine. And I do Shift D for duplication and push that up. And I could do this. Try to bridge it right away. No, that wasn't good. So that there was a triangle there that I didn't want, and I just pulled this down. So you might have to do these, you know, just kind of move these because there's some uneven spacing. So now I'll do that. That you have. And bridge that. Okay, so that's good. Delete those vertices. And you know, maybe, but I don't think. I'll just take this, push that up a little bit over. I want to bore you with this tedium. What I really want to do here is just to get it close enough. I'll just hurry this up a little bit. But what I want to do is I want to be here in this scenario here and do Shift S and selection to grid, and then I kind of get it straightened out like that. And that makes it easier to get it just a straight line. And of course then you get these, so you kind of have to adjust that afterwards. Also these, they just kind of pull together because they're so close anyway. there you go. So that's the general method of this. So it's the same thing on the other side, and same thing here. And you might have to, want to do Control R later on. A couple of them even. I'm not going to do that now, but just to make it, if you want the mesh to be even, and if you want to animate or deform it in some way, then maybe I would think you'd be better off. And I just want to show you this one thing. If I'm in user, if I'm in a user angle, and then I do Shift S and the selection to grid, then that's going to happen. It is much coarser grid then. So if I press 7 here and regret, and I do the same thing, Shift S and selection to grid, then it uses the finer grid. So it's important to be an orthogonal view, not a user view, or a square, like a top, bottom, side, but not a user ortho, because then the grid it will use is much bigger, so you'll get undesirable results. So this is the general idea here, and let's go over to number 9, and I'm sure that one can improve on this mesh more. This is kind of get hurried just because I don't want to waste so much time on just things that all of you know real well how to do anyway. So what I've done here is just I made an additional loop to push that up, so I can control that edge. And of course, if you need to, if you feel that you want to have a better control of the edge around it, now since we have this beautifully shaped, completely quad mesh around it, just do your Control R and let's do this so we can see what we're doing. Control R. Now you can control that edge if you want to, and then the same is true for here. So that way you can really control the edge and get exactly what you want. And I think that's as far as this goes now. Let's just render that and see if that's looks sharper than it did before. I think it does. It's that way you can see how sharp that really completely sharp. And I'll show you one thing before I end, and I think this can be actually pretty useful. And let's create some problems. Here we have problems with our mesh. Boy, do we have problems. Gonna mess it up real good. So that doesn't look too good, does it? And you have all these problems. So what do? Now we've messed it all up, but guess what? You need the, call in the cavalry here. So what we do is, I can look at this from the front here. I'll turn off this here so I can see what I'm doing. And okay, I know that the problem area is up here, right? And I just exaggerated the kind of problems you get. You can get these, Z dimension undesirables. Okay, I need to be in that mode. And we'll do it again. Box select there for that. And then we have the entire top is selected. And that's awesome. And we can go here, and I can remove that. We just add a group, and I assigned all the selected to that group, and just check, yeah, it worked pretty good. And then go to object mode, Shift A and a plane, and I'll scale that up, and then bring that up to here, just so I can see it. And then I'll go to the character mesh. I add a modifier. I can remove this modifier for now. Add the shrink wrap modifier, and the target is that plane. And I have this vertex group that I just selected. So now we have this down here, and we just apply it. Then we can move that up, and there we go. So now we fixed that problem. So if you ever have a problem with a surface that is, has been, buckled in some way because you moved something in the wrong coordinate, then you can just fix it by shrink wrapping, like in this fashion. So I hope this is helpful. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.